Yeah, welcome to this edition of Majalisah. As you well know, we've had some challenges in Nigeria, the security situation that has refused to end and seems to be increasing every day. Recently, there were protests in Edo State, precisely in the Ishan-speaking area where the governor comes from, by youths and students who are complaining about the activities of the marauding herdsmen or bandits who are claiming to be herdsmen in the area and had killed some people and prevented people from going to their farms in the earlier period. And people, of course, are concerned that the government acted very quickly in arresting the students or the young people who were protesting. And people are wondering why the government will easily and quickly arrest protesters and not bring to book. And there has been no report so far of any of the bandits or the people in the bush having been arrested and taken to court. With me to briefly discuss this matter today is no other person than Uncle Peter Asekokhai, who lives in London, a retiree, and is from Edo State. Uncle P, what is your take about what is happening in Edo State regarding the security situation?
Good evening, Honorable. I'm pleased to be on your program. Thank you for having me on your program. You have touched on a subject that is very dear to my heart. I'm very passionate about the security in Edo State, well, generally in Nigeria as a whole. But tonight, I think we concentrate on Edo State. People who knows me knows that I've been very, very passionate, very concerned about the security situation in Edo State. Although it has taken a nasty turn at the moment, I have reached out to several people in Edo State, including the present Commissioner of Police in Edo State. What happened in Boma is something that was on the horizon. And what I'll be advising the security people who are involved in security in Edo State is trying to take proactive action, which we are not taking. That is most unfortunate. And people has always asked me, what is my suggestion about the way we should address the security situation in Edo State? Number one, I have made some suggestion that we should try to address the security situation in Edo State by involving the traditional rulers and the local government area. Because when crime is committed, police are not always present. And in order for them to solve or address, they rely on credible information. And before that, we should go full flat out for intelligent gathering. Those areas were short, we are shortchanging them. We don't take proactive action. And unless I have said it actually, I did mention in one of my write-up that it's not, all I keep hearing is that the police said they are short of manpower. I think the commissioner of Edo State particularly mentioned is that we are short of manpower and they want to rely or use the help of the vigilantes. The danger in that is that the vigilantes are not trained. It's not quite, they are not trained. And also, I noticed from the last comment of the Commissioner of Edo State that they are going to provide some vigilante with offices. We are talking about the whole of Edo State. How many offices are you going to create? In order to, as vigilantes, to assist, it has to be local, i.e., the Commissioner of Police in Edo State can say, okay, fine, we have 80 local government chairman, local government council in Edo State. Each local government can be mandated at least, say, recruit by 5 people to be trained to assist in addressing the issue of insecurity. And there has to be a limit. There has to be a guideline to what they can or cannot do. How will they assist the police? There are fine. So on this case, the number one, to start with, we have to get the traditional ruler and the local government area involved. And by getting them involved, they have to finance them, because you can't ask the public to help you finance the operation of the police. If you do that, automatically there will be conflict of interest, and you don't need that when it comes to law enforcement. Law enforcement should be
Now,
able to
Uncle
operate.
Pete, let me ask you something before you go on. Let me ask you something before you go on. If the police who are trained and are not solving this problem very well, would the vigilantes who are not trained do any better than the police that are trained?
That is my share, because we should be able to hold the police accountable. At the moment, the problem is that the police, more or less, well, I won't use the word law to themselves because they're supposed to uphold the law. If the police are not doing their job, then that is where the problem is. We have a huge problem there. How do you deal with that? Because constitutionally, the police are supposed to guide us. And if the police are failing their job, then that is an area we should look at. I'm prepared to have a meeting or discussion with the Commissioner of Police, how you are treated that. Because if I might go back a bit now, let me go back a bit. I know I'm going on a bit. In 1968, I was dealing with one commissioner of police from Edo State. It's ASP Omokwale and ASP Oyejikwe. And in my discussion with them at Force Headquarters in Lagos, I did point out to them that when you join the police, when you pass out from the training course, your training doesn't stop there. Police are constantly undergo training until the day they retire from the force. But what we are facing is that police are not being constantly trained, updated as we go along. They still live in the whatever. Anyway, our police officers, unfortunately, some of them are not properly trained. That we should look at that area. You have to train them to be able to carry out their mandate. If that is failing, to go back to your question, if the police are not doing their job, then we have a problem. Vigilante is not the answer. It is not the answer. We might take a quick solution. It's not the answer. The vigilante are supposed to work with the police. There's a limit to what the vigilantes can do. Security is serious and honorable. Security is not just carry a gun and go out in the bush and shooting people. That is not security. Security involves a lot of things, both training, commitment, intelligence gathering, and operational. At the end of the day, for example, now, in Edo State, I don't know if we have a police central control room. I don't think we do. Because if we do, we have a control room. Everywhere you are, like every DPO in Edo State, we have direct access to the control room. Let's say, for example, I'm from Edo North. Let's say from Auchi, there's a crisis there. One phone call to operation room and seek for assistance. Not necessarily coming from a Bini. Maybe we have a police station in Auchi or wherever. Then they can source for help immediately. But now, you see, it's too much. I had a meeting, WhatsApp, like I'm telling you, we have a WhatsApp meeting with some police officers from Edo State on this issue about 2 months ago. And what they were telling me was frightening. First of all, sorry, I'm holding back because there are a lot I don't want to see on this program. They told me sometimes they don't have the vehicles. And when they do have the vehicles, there's no fuel. When they go for operation, they'll be short of ammunition. And these are not just Nigerian police, these are up to inspector. We have a meeting with them. I'm not going to mention their names, okay? These are serving officers. And they were explaining to me or to us the challenges they are facing in Edo State. And since then, I've been waiting, I've been trying to have an audience with the Commissioner of Police.
Now, let me also ask you one question. One criticism of the governor is that when some hunters were killed around that area, the governor acted promptly and even went to Kano State to apologize and promise that he was going to deal with the people that carried out this attack on the hunters that were attacked and killed. Do you have any information whether the governor has also arrested or they have arrested some of the bandits or the people in the bushes that are destroying crops and raping women in the farms?
Yeah, that was highly disturbing at the time when the governor made that statement. I think correctly that he went to Kano and try to appease them. First of all, I said to you, what we are liking, we don't carry out a thorough investigation. Before the governor made that statement, I don't know how much information was provided to him before he made that statement. First and foremost, I have not heard, this is what I say, if they say they were hunters, what were they hunting? Wherever they come from, they come all the way from Edo State to do hunting. What are they hunting? They said they were hunter. And the information I got is that even when these people were stopped before the incident that happened, if the way they reacted is what they found in the vehicle. As I say, the governor, for him to make that statement and to say those people that they are killed, the family or relative will be compensated. I don't know on what ground he made that statement. I don't know what information he has for him to make that statement. Okay? Then if we want, can go back and ask him ourselves, when these people were being killed in Edo State, what was the response of the governor? What did he do? You see, that is what I say, Honorable. It is security is not carrying gun and shooting people. That is not security. Security, you should be able to take proactive action to stop the shooting, to stop the killing. And that's what we are not doing. We are not patient enough to gather center intelligent gathering information. We are not doing that. We react after the incident taking place has happened. Okay, in security circle, what you should do, gather information, okay, take proactive action. It's not a question of I said it earlier, when crimes are committed, the police are not always present. When they come to the scene of the crime, they rely heavily on credible information to assist them to carry out their job. That is not happening in our society. You see, police are making it impossible for the public to rely on them. You hear a lot of kidnappers. I know of few, personally, which I'm not going to go, where police did that encourage you to go pay ransom. Why? And if you now, the person that is relative or friend or somebody is kidnapped, go and look for vigilante to go and commit something, I guarantee you, 9 out of 10, member of those vigilante, it will be so easy for the police to go arrest them. And this incident just happened in Auchi, where I come from. After one doctor just qualify another relative, after they abducted them, they demanded for 200 million. When one of them was killed, they reduced the ransom to 100 million. Where are the police? Where are they? In this an age of technology, they can trace my phone. I know some phone, you cannot trace them, but again, I tell you there are equipment you can do that. These people are using phone to negotiate for ransom. And somebody is taking the ransom to them. And where are the police? What are they doing?
As we wind down, another question I would like to ask is, what is your assessment or what are your relations living in Auchi area telling you about security? Government has said that it's doing much and there has been a reduction. Is that what your relations are telling you, that there's improvement in the security situation?
Honorable, we should be able to avoid getting politics involved in security. If you got politics involved in security, it's going to slow down. Nothing is going to move. If the person that said the security situation in Auchi has reduced, has he been there? Where did he get the information from? Where? I'm telling you, that is where I come from. The security situation there now is really, my own daughter, traveled to Nigeria. When she get to Abuja, in fact, the mother told her not to come, that it is not safe. She have to travel to Abuja to meet her daughter. This is personal story, I'm telling you. So no one can dispute that. Because of the security situation in Auchi, she was unable to go there. So anybody telling you the security situation in Auchi has come down or reduced, I don't know where the person got the information from. Even to go back to it, that is one question. It has not. People are petrified to leave their houses. People can, even from 5 o'clock, people are being asked to stay indoors. People are not even going out. People are not even traveling. So whoever sits in Benin or wherever and tell you the security situation now has reduced, the person live in a different planet. We're not living in the same planet. and he can sit in so comfort and tell you that. And the thing is that if we go back to Ekpoma, the Onogi of Urumi, if they should mention my name, I've been talking to him about the security situation before this thing happened. I am based in London, and based on the information I got, I know there's likely going to be problem in Edo Central and where our governor comes from. How come they are not able to read what is happening and take proactive action instead of chasing people up and down? That is so easy target for them, like this student we are hearing. And I even watched the statement of the governor who said that it's not Fulani herdsmen. I don't know where he got the information for him to make a broadly based statement like that they are not Fulani herdsmen that are killing them, that is the people there, this and that. Even if that is the case, such a statement should not come from the number one law enforcement officer in the state. It should come from him. But he went on television telling us that they are not Fulani. Then who are they? If you know who are they, why not you go after them?
As the chief security officer of the state, don't you think that probably he has information that there could be criminals within the area who are pretending to be Fulani?
But as I say, if we have credible information to that effect, fine. I'm asking, it's a question. Where did he get the information from? I am not telling you who is culprit, who is responsible. No, I'm not saying that. I don't know who is responsible. I wasn't there. Because at the end of the day, if the governor of the state is coming out to tell us Mr. A is not a criminal, is not a murderer, Mr. B is. Who is Mr. B? Who? Tell us then. If you know, you measure a group of people, they are not responsible, then you know who is responsible. Then tell us, who are they? You know, you law enforcement officer in the state, if you know they are, why are you unable to take action? Why?
Well, in the last few minutes, we have been speaking with Uncle P, who lives in London. Thank you very much for our conversation. We'll call you again so that we can speak on
the fact is that if this message
situation
we get across to the governor, because the way security is not just carry gun. You have to carry. If once you look at it, then the governor himself should look at how the police officers, their welfare, are being taken care of. Because it's no use telling somebody to put his life in danger to protect you, and you are not looking after him or her. The police welfare...
But the governor will say that is not his responsibility. The police are federal employees who are paid salaries and emoluments, some of which are arguably higher than the salaries and wages of the average Nigerian worker.
Yeah, Honorable, I agree with that the police is federal, the state. Some governors will tell you the commissioner of police in their state doesn't take instruction from them. We are not telling the governor of the state, any state, to change the rule of engagement of the police. No. If you are in my state, I have the right, I have the authority to advise you how you treat people in my state. That's nothing to do with federal. I'm not telling you to choose your rule of engagement. I will ask you, this is how I would like you to treat people, my people, in my state. You don't need instruction from the IG.
Right. Okay, let's leave it there. Time is not on our side. Let's leave it there. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Honorable.